Hi, I'm Sylvia Gordon.
And I'm Elliot Sharples-Gordon.
We are going to talk a little bit about the Insulin Filter on Medicare.gov, as well as the biggest news in Medicare Advantage, which is a brand new competitor shaking things up in a couple states. Stay tuned while we talk about that. Thank you for joining me, Elliot. Rebecca couldn't be here. She's on fall break with her kids, and since I couldn't have anybody else on because of COVID, because of the distancing, I had to have somebody from my family bubble, so I made him be on the show. If he's boring, just
ignore me.
Bear with me. You can let it out in the comments. Speaking of that, why don't you go to the mean tweet, since clearly that was a joke.
If you're gonna put a comment, please make it nicer than this.
Nicer than this
It's
comment.
pretty rude.
This Frank Rizzo guy, I don't know you, but this was a comment he left last week on one of our YouTube videos. He said, 2 losers putting on a stupid act explaining a serious subject.
Which is good.
Which is kind of, yeah, that's savage.
Shout out Frank.
That's savage. Boom. But thank you for watching, Frank. And I asked my team, I said, hey, this guy said this. I said, what do you feel that I should respond to him? And they go, you know what, Sylvia? You need to tell this Frank Rizzo out there that if we talked seriously about every subject, everybody'd be so depressed, nobody'd watch the video.
True.
You know, nobody'd read the
so
email.
Boring.
We'd be bored and we'd be so bummed out because this is kind of a tough time, okay? So we're trying to make light of it to make it more palatable. So if you want to just go be depressed, you know, keep scrolling, Fred. Nobody's making you watch it. It's a free world. We do have a lot of people that do view it and that do find it valuable. And we do try to keep it light because what the hell? Might as well have fun, right? In that note, if you like my son's hair, if you like my son's hair, that length, please let him know in the comments because he's thinking about cutting it off and I'm telling him not to. Okay, get rid of Frank Rizzo. Clearly a sad man. And let's go up to Medicare.gov. Okay, we talked a little bit about the insulin, the $35 insulin the last couple shows, and we're still getting a lot of questions from agents about the $35 insulin. Now, unfortunately, Medicare.gov is not up to date right now. And that's what agents always assume if AEP is starting in a couple days, that everything's loaded and everything's talking to each other from all the carriers, and that is not the truth. So if you want to do an accurate drug list with accurate prices, right now you got to go to the carrier site. You cannot rely on this, okay? Now, eventually, they get it all synced up, and will it be Thursday or Friday or next week? We don't know, but it's not synced now, and it's always clunky like this at the beginning of AEP. Don't rely on it. Okay, now the insulin filter.
The insulin filter is right here. Once you've put in the prescriptions and selected the pharmacy, there's a little box right here for insulin savings. If you don't have that checked, you can see there's 30 drug plans available in this area.
So what drug did you put in?
I put in Humalog.
So we put in 1 insulin, okay? So we're looking at 1 insulin, and if you do it without the filter, it gives me 30 plans. Lowest to highest price, lowest is gonna be Cigna Part D, right there.
Now, if we do check the filter, it narrows it down to just 9.
So now we knocked out 2/3 of the plans.
Yeah.
Okay, so these companies are doing the $35 insulin. So now we brought up Mutual of Omaha. However, is that the one that you would recommend?
It seemed like without checking that.
You want to go back down because just because you have, when you go to the store and you get a coupon on whatever, bread, it doesn't necessarily mean that the coupon is going to give you a better deal because there might be other bread that's way cheaper, right? They just took the most expensive bread and they lowered it.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you go into here and where do you get to the part where it said the actual prices?
Okay, let's go. Cigna Health Springs is probably a bad example. We all know why. But let's go to plan details just to see in here anyway.
One, they don't pay agent commissions. So just keep that in mind.
Just for drug plans. And we can see the actual drug cost, $2
So right here, $2.
And that's without the insulin savings program. So the point being is, I don't think the filter helps very much. But But still, your clients, a lot of people are doing this in front of their clients with their laptop, and their clients are excited because they've heard a lot of press about $35 insulin. So they might say, oh, I want this $35 insulin. And you might have to tell them, hey, you can get it cheaper
just switching to a generic insulin. It's going to be cheaper than $35 a month. Now, some people have to have their brand name insulin, in which case this might save them a lot of money. But it's not as easy as it seems on the face of it. And then again, what I already prefaced this whole statement is that all the data, all the prices are not in there correctly yet. It's still clunky. Anything else you want to add from an agent's point of view?
Clunky seems about right. I'm not using the checkbox button. We'll just sort it by lowest drug and premium cost.
Okay, so you were excited about the technological advances of all the carriers. You want to give me a rundown?
Yes. This is my favorite thing. It's not having to do paper applications. I know a lot of people still do them. A lot of people in our office only do them, but I like to get away from them whenever possible. And now just about every company for Medicare Advantage and drug plans has a voice signature and an email signature, so that even if they don't have an email, we can do a voice signature. So company by company, United Healthcare just released voice signature for Medicare Advantage plans through Lean. They've always had the email signature through Lean. That's good news.
And I haven't done one yet, so I can't speak about it. But I can't
I've gone
wait.
through them all. The email signature's always been really easy. It's through DocuSign. You
But a lot of
set
people
an
don't have
access
email
code.
or...
The
yeah.
voice signature is a little trickier than the other companies, but it seems totally workable. I'm excited to start testing it.
And you might not have heard about it because it just came out last week, and so most people are still going, what? And it is kind of late, but they got it.
So that's United Healthcare. Next up is Anthem. Anthem has an email signature and a voice signature. We have a script that we read off at the very end. You click out of it, and then you'll have an access code in the last four of the number you called on it for, and then you add that to the e-app, and that's...
And we've had that a couple years. Have you done that much?
I haven't had that for very long.
You just haven't used it?
Just haven't used it. And the email signature is pretty new.
Okay.
I found out about it on Saturday. But so that's Anthem. And then next is Aetna, which is through Ascend. So there's no signature needed, just goes through the Ascend portal. WellCare is now through the Centene Ascend. Cigna Health Springs has an email signature through their DRX Connect Your platform. And Humana now has a voice signature at the end of Fast App, and Humana has their email signature at the end of Fast App. So that's everybody.
Everybody's in. It's just you. We just need you. You're the secret sauce to get away from the paper apps and to try it, because it's one of those things. Once you try it, as much as you hate to force yourself to try something new, you kind of like it.
And you got to do it enough to see exactly what it looks like on the client's end. Because when they're doing their email signature and they're like, I can't find it, you have to be able to say, check your spam. It's going to come from this email. Here's the subject. Once you open it, you're going to see this. So we record videos, or I record videos for everyone on my team so that they can see exactly what it looks like on my end and on the consumer's end.
Some agents do a split screen. They log in and they take control of the client screen so they can walk them through it, right? And point.
You just have to be able to get the person to do a screen share with you.
Right, that's another
technology hurdle.
Okay, let's talk about Walmart. We've been talking about them every episode because they formed Walmart Insurance in July, and they said they were going to do a test program in the Dallas area. It was going to be very small. Well, then it's expanded now because we have a lot of agents in Ohio, and they lost their store that they might have had for years and years because Walmart said, we're taking Ohio. So I see this rolling all throughout the country next year, but that's separate. That's just kiosks and Walmart. Now they are
releasing their own plan.
And they're doing it under their own paper, their own name, or through...
They're doing it through Clover, which is a new Medicare Advantage company. I guess
it's not new. It's small, regional, northeastern. Right, because it's been the Northeast. So most people haven't heard about Clover, but they are doing it. And what are they calling it? They're calling it Live Healthy, Clover Powered, Walmart Enhanced. So it's a partnership with this Clover paper. And that is in Georgia, around the Atlanta area. And we have lots and lots of agents down there in that area, and they're going to have a lot of questions that we don't have the answers to. Number one being, can they sell this plan?
Important.
Right. And who's their upline? Which I'm assuming it's going to be Walmart. And what's in it for the consumer? What's different about this plan?
My understanding, I learned a couple minutes ago, is that they're going to have a big over-the-counter benefit, so you can use it at Walmart. Whereas other companies, you have to do it through a catalog. Walmart, I guess you just keep walking around the store.
Or you can do it on Walmart.com.
Walmart.com.
But it's $400 over the counter.
A year, though.
Yeah. But
It's pretty good.
that's out there because a lot of over the counter is $15 a quarter.
Yeah, it depends a lot. $70
$30
a quarter. They're
Right, $40 a quarter.
400's in the realm, but it seems pretty good.
You don't see it in the unless you're DSNP. DSNP has very
DSNP
rich
has
over
a
the
lot.
counter. But if you're just regular MAPD, you generally don't see more than $50 a quarter. So it's double as rich as the average. And there are going to be people that go, yeah, that's interesting. So it's something if you are working in the Atlanta area to keep a lookout for, because your clients will ask you about stuff, and we know you hate to be caught flat-footed. That's all I have for this week. Do you have anything else to add from an agent's point of view?
Be interesting to see if the Walmart over the counter, I could use it on food. You could use it on non-medical expense stuff.
Right.
That's what I want to know.
Right. I always know you can't do tobacco, alcohol.
Yeah, everybody else has to be
Prescriptions.
medical devices or
Right. And
deodorant or
Anthem's
something.
had a card where you can go into Walmart. They've had for years where you can go in and shop off Walmart.com. It's had a little
I'd want to know that.
connectivity issues. Yeah. Have a happy AEP. We will be back next week when you'll be deep in the throes of it. Thanks for tuning in.